we invite you to sign our visitor's book. And if you'd like to join us for a coffee hour downstairs, you can do that. And if you're visiting and are feeling particularly extroverted and would like to be greeted, take a green mug, and people really will talk to you. And for members and friends, and to help folks stay connected, if it is comfortable for you to wear your name tag, make sure you put your pronoun stickers on there. If you need a new name tag, see the greeter in the living room. I am the Reverend Dr. Beth Johnson, and my pronouns are she, they, and I'm so very pleased to share this special service with you today. I mean, I'm really excited. I can barely take it. Our music today is provided by Joe Jencks, the amazing Joe Jencks, and the awesome Deidre McCalla. For those of you, some people were here last night for their wonderful concert for Acoustic Renaissance. Let me give you a little bit of a bio on them. Joe Jencks is a 25-year veteran of the international folk circuit, an award-winning songwriter and celebrated vocalist in Northern Illinois. He's known for his performances, and believe me, y'all, this is true. I had the opportunity to be in a service with Joe. I was preaching at my friend's installation, and Joe was the musician, and my heart broke open. So what I'm about to read to you is totally true. He's known for his performances of musical beauty, social consciousness, and spiritual exploration. Joe delivers engaged musical narratives filled with heart, soul, groove, and grit, blending well-crafted instrumentals and vivid songwriting. Joe serves it all up with a lyric baritone voice that has the edgy richness of good sea salt caramel. He has penned several #1 folk songs, including the ever-relevant Lady of the Harbor, which we heard last night, and has become a fan favorite throughout North America and beyond. Joe has performed and preached in over 200 Unitarian Universalist congregations in the U.S., Canada, and Ireland, and he is a dual U.S.-Irish citizen, which of course is near and dear to me. He has served as a cultural ambassador with the U.S. State Department. Deidre McCalla is an artist who embodies, and I know this to be true because I saw it, hope, celebration, struggle, loss, sometimes, y'all, all in one song, which is what we heard last night, too. A Black woman, mother, lesbian, feminist, Deidre McCalla has long been on the forefront of Black musicians, expanding the understanding of how Black folk can do folk. Deirdre's songwriting reveals an unyielding, honest perspective expressed with a lyric touch that relentlessly celebrates the power and diversity of the human spirit. Deirdre's most recent release, Endless Grace. Yeah, endless grace, y'all. Do we need endless grace? Yeah, I think so. Dominated the folk radio charts in June of 2022, earned the #1 album for the month and the #1 song, Shoulder to the Wheel. Deidre is at heart a deeply engaged humanitarian whose music and spirit are approachable to a broad audience and whose songs possess a kind of universality that help us to see a piece of our own story in each other. And beloveds, this is what music does for us. This is what good music does for us, is it allows us to touch places in to be touched in places in ourselves, recognize our common humanity, lift our spirits while naming hard and difficult truths, allowing our spirits to soar so that we can meet the challenges of our times. I am extremely thrilled, as you can see, to have them joining us today. Thank you, dear ones. And I'd like to thank you for putting your phone in worship mode, but please do feel free to check in on social media and let folks know that you're worshiping here today. This is an all-ages service. There is childcare for littles available in our playroom, but you know what? I don't see any littles right now. I don't see any kids right now. If they come in, everyone is welcome. All voices are welcome here. So, church life. There's always a lot going on around church. You can read You can read all about it in News and Notes, which arrives in your inbox every Friday. And there are printed copies downstairs. If you'd like to receive News and Notes, stop by the welcome table in the living room at the back of the church. Whew, okay, 2 more things. For those of you who are terribly interested in the budget, and I'm sure some of you are, we're going to have a budget discussion meeting with the board. They just want to let you all know ahead of time what the budget is looking like, and you'll be ready for our annual meeting. Mark your calendars for June 2nd, and also Beds Plus, our ministry to our unhoused neighbors, will be collecting meals, so you can sign up to bring meals for that. Ooh, I think we all should take a breath. Yeah. Want to do that again? Yes. We acknowledge that we in the western suburbs inhabit areas that are the traditional territories of the indigenous peoples, including the Kickapoo, Peoria, Potawatomi, and others. As people trying to live into a more just world, we have a responsibility to acknowledge the history and legacy of colonialism and the harm done to Native peoples, and to also work to repair that harm. And now I invite you to join our call to worship words that we will say together. And Joe, you want to lead us?
These words from Bengali poet Rabindranath Tagore. Please join me. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. Would you please join in an opening hymn? Rise in body or spirit as you wish. This is my song, found in the hymnal, but words also appear. This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and wide. This is my home, the country where my heart beats. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine. Alex, could you do me a favor and turn this guitar down just a tiny bit in the house? Thank you so much.
Thank you for that opening song. Just so you know that the service was crafted by Joe and Deirdre, and I'm here simply to facilitate. Their theme of embracing hope is a path. In that song, I saw some of you had tears in your eyes, and that is our aspiration. The flaming chalice has been the symbol of Unitarian Universalism since 1961, but the chalice was first the symbol of the Unitarian Service Committee to help Jews and other dissidents escape Nazi Germany. It is a symbol of hope in a world of darkness. Today, we come together, a community of memory, a community of now, a community of the future, lighting the chalice flame of faith and hope, of justice, peace, and love. May it be so. May it be so.
In lieu of a time of all ages or a specific story, we thought that we might sing this song for you and hopefully with you, a song written by our much beloved friend and colleague, Holly Neer. Some of you know her work, have heard her music in concert, or perhaps heard her Ware lecture at General Assembly many years back. An extraordinary human being and a friend to both of us. Deirdre, I would love to hear you say a few words about what this song means to you.
You know, when Holly started doing this song, I was just impressed with the openness of her heart. And I think that being willing, being open is really how we move forward in the world, instead of closing off and shutting down. And this statement of being there, of being present, is really essential.
So please be present with us in this beautiful song.
dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. So lift me up to the light of change. So lift me up to the light of change.
Get an amen for that. Come on, y'all. You can do it. I know you can. This is a time when we affirm our community by sharing our treasures with our congregation and with the wider community. We receive our morning offering knowing that by sharing our gifts, we bring about that world where all can know love and freedom and possibility. Please join me in our offering words. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another and with the people around us and with the world. Thank you for your generosity.
Well, I am very honored to be here today. I'm Unitarian adjacent, as I've been doing a Quaker practice since I've been in Georgia. So you're very much like Quakers, you're just a bit more chatty. And I do live in Georgia. I've lived in Georgia 30 years now. But when I was recording my last album, I did part of it in California, and it reminded me that I really have a wonderful circle of friends. So that our friends, our family of origin is our bedrock, perhaps, but our friends lift us up. I was given a song prompt last fall at a conference I went to, and I think the gods were smiling upon me, or the goddesses, because the song prompt that I was given, and this was a conference, I had 2 days to write a song, learn a song, and then sing it Sunday morning at the brunch. But the universe smiles in generous ways. And the song prompt I was given was, "Our friends are the angels on earth." And I thought, that is very true. I think I can do something with that. It only takes a word. It only takes a glance. The song has answered more than I can remember. Trusted friend hears what you could not say, and hold space till you return to center. Seen an act of kindness heal a hurt and left a bruise, and more than once a single note repaired a hidden wound. But the greatest gift of all in this wondrous universe is to know that I have lived when angels walked the earth. When angels walked the earth. The rhythm of our lives weaves through miles in time, a steady beat that never seems to end. Moments I've treasured, 9 baskets filled with tears and laughter I have shared with friends. Seen an act of kindness heal a hurt that left a bruise, and more than once a single note repaired a hidden wound. But the greatest gift of all in this wondrous universe is to know that I have lived when angels walked the earth. Every soul that journeys on this road needs to know they are not alone. Seen an act of kindness heal a hurt that left a bruise, and more than once a single note repaired a hidden wound. But the greatest gift of all in our wondrous universe is to know that we have lived when angels walked the earth. When angels walked the earth. When angels walked the earth.
Our reading this morning is from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. One of the great liabilities of history is that all too many people fail to remain awake during great periods of social change. Every society has its protectors of the status quo, its fraternities of the indifferent who are notorious for sleeping through revolutions. Today, our very survival depends on our ability to stay awake, to adjust to new ideas, to remain vigilant, and to face the challenge of change. May it be so.
Those words from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. have spoken to me for a long time. The fraternities of the indifferent, the defenders of the status quo. This is how it's always been done. The problem is too complex to solve. I had the privilege of walking through the Johnson Space Center with a fellow who was involved in aerospace during the Apollo program. He witnessed firsthand from Houston what was going on in the world. And as we were walking underneath a Saturn V rocket, one of the most complex machines human beings have ever built, he said to me, "Do you understand the difference between complicated and complex?" I said, "Well, I have thoughts about it, but I'm guessing as an engineer you're going to share some other thoughts with me about what this means." And he said, an engineer's job, an architect's job, the work of people who manage huge systems, the job is to figure out how to take something that seems complicated and reduce it to merely complex. Some things are necessarily complex. A Saturn V rocket is necessarily complex. But the job is to remove every step that does not need to be there, every gear, every cog, every screw, every piece of equipment that does not need to be a part of the process is removed, so it is reduced to being merely complex. This is true in human society. It is true of international relations, of global struggles. It is true in individual relationships. We allow complexity to cloud our vision and our judgment. We are afraid of conflict, and so we say it is too complex, when in fact it is necessarily complex. And all of us have the capacity to reduce what seems complicated to what is merely complex. That is the work in front of us in so many places in the world, in the environment, in global relations, in places where there are ongoing wars, in places where there is ongoing hunger and starvation in our own nation. It is our job to figure out how to transcend what seems complicated and acknowledge the necessary complexities of finding a solution. I have been trying to figure out how to sing about those complexities in the world of late, which seem to just be getting more and more intense. And as Deidre and I have been on tour, this melody and these words have been running through my head. Nobody has heard this song yet. You're the first. I remember my mother, who had 7 children, 10 pregnancies, and raised several strays along the way. I remember her talking about what it meant to lift up our suffering as a prayer. I didn't quite understand it as a young person, but when I encountered Buddhism and encountered the notion of chop wood and carry water, that the enlightenment we seek may be found on the mountaintop, but if we can't find it also doing the mundane things of daily life, then maybe we haven't found it. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist who interpreted Vietnamese Buddhism for the West and is very much a teacher to many, said, "If you think you have mastered your practice, spend an afternoon with your family." So the work is ongoing, but for me, the center of my practice is singing and making music. I find hope there. There's a Gerald Torres, an environmental lawyer, a guy who's been in lots of battles on behalf of the EPA and on behalf of the people against corporate polluters, also a professor of environmental law. He said, envision the world as you would like to see it, and then engage in a discipline of hope as you bring it to bear. A discipline of hope. Sometimes it may not seem attainable, but that hope is real. It is out there, and it is for each one of us to manifest. I talked to a friend of mine who is a practitioner of Buddhism and of yoga, and he does all kinds of things. And I said, wow, I wish I were disciplined enough to have a practice like you. And he started laughing out loud. I said, "What's so funny?" He said, "You've been singing since you're 3 years old. How has it not dawned on you that singing is your practice?" That was rolling around my head as I was thinking about this song.
I will keep singing while the world turns. I will keep singing as the human heart yearns. May there be dancing every step of the way. I will keep singing till the end of my days. How can I stand here singing when the world is at war? When people are starving, we wonder what for. But I will keep raising my voice to the sky. I'll sing out my questions, never stop asking why. And I will keep singing while the world turns. I will keep singing as the human heart yearns. May there be dancing every step of the way. And I will keep singing till the end of my days. Like people before us, all the world round, have raised up their voices in glorious sound, singing the journey, the sorrows and pain. We will keep singing this joyous refrain. I will keep singing. I will keep singing while the world turns. While the world turns, I will keep singing. I will keep, as the human heart yearns, as the human heart, may there be dancing. May there be dancing every step of the way. And I will keep singing till the end of my days. It's not a solution to the problems we face, but it gives us the courage to keep up the pace. When hope seems to vanish, don't know what to do. If we keep singing, it'll carry us through. I will keep singing, and I will keep singing while the world turns, while the world turns. And I will keep singing as the human heart yearns. May there be dancing every step of the way. And I will keep singing till the end of my days. There's hope for the future right here in this room. Inside of each person, potential that blooms. When gathered together, we become a bouquet. Our beauty will shine on and light up the way. And I will keep singing while the world turns. And I will keep singing as the human heart yearns. May there be dancing every step of the way. And I will keep singing to the end of my days. I will keep singing while the world turns. I will keep singing as the human heart yearns. May there be dancing every step of the way. And I will keep singing to the end of my days. May there be dancing every step of the way. And I will keep singing to the end of my days.
caper one little bit, and it gets in a snit. I am a mom. I am a single parent by choice. My son is 30, still living at home with me. And it's interesting, him being at home with me. I homeschooled him through 8th grade, so we have an unusually close relationship, and that has all the push and pulls and tugs that you can imagine. But as we cohabit the same space now that he has grown up in all his life, actually, I am learning to be mom, not mom, and he is learning to be son, not child. And so I am shepherding him through the journeys that he has taken thus far. And he was going through a rough patch a couple of years ago, and he was finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for that journey. And we were having dinner one night, and he was in an unusually talkative mood, and talkative about himself. He will burn your ear off talking about Formula One, but as for talking about himself, he's always been reticent. But this was a different kind of night. And he said to me, "Mom, as you know, things have been kind of rough for a while here, but I do think that things are getting better. But I feel like I'm only halfway down the highway to salvation." And I looked at him and I said, "What did you say?" He said, I'm halfway down the highway to salvation." And I stopped because the dude forgets his mom is a songwriter and everything he says is fair game. So I was like, "Is that a song?" He said, "No." I said, "Did you read it in a book?" "No." "Did you see it on YouTube?" "No." "Mom, okay." I backed off, but I was, our ears as songwriters is always attuned to the world around us. He has heard me introduce this song, has no recollection of this conversation whatsoever, which is fine because that means he doesn't need any songwriting credit for it. But what struck me was watching his journey and realize that it is all our journeys. We have all been there at some point in our lives, and it often happens more than one time. We go through some sort of crucible, some sort of trial by fire that, if we survive it, forges our character and really helps us to start to understand who we are and how we want to be in the world. So we've all been there. Late autumn, the trees are standing bare. Winter's coming, a sharp breath whistles in the air. My jacket is no match against this ever-creeping cold that seeks to overwhelm me as a journey on this road. Halfway down the highway to salvation. Halfway down the highway to salvation. Halfway down the highway to salvation. Heading home. Our choices are rarely clear as day. Sometimes we wander before we ever find our way. I was dancing in the flame of candles, burning at both ends. Watch the dying ashes ghost and scatter in the wind. Halfway down the highway nothing left for anyone to take. Stand before a mirror, stare into the cold. There you'll find the peace you need to send. Halfway down the highway to salvation. 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 Heading home. Heading home. Heading home. Heading home.
Amen. A friend of mine who lives in Oak Park sends haiku out every Sunday morning. Her name is Jenny Benneman, and she's a wonderful poet and songwriter. She's issued an invitation to any of her artist friends who want to use her poetry as inspiration for new works of art to do so freely and without reservation. And finally, last summer, after 8 years of reading her poetry, she sent a haiku out on a Sunday morning that hit me exactly where I needed to be hit. It was the Sunday morning of General Assembly. I was in my room staying with some friends in Pittsburgh, and I was delighted to be present with so many community members for the first time since well before the pandemic. And the haiku said this: lay down your weapons. Love has got you surrounded. There is no way out. Ever the spiritual warrior, I received this on a deeply allegorical level, and I proceeded to sit with that. It just really hit me. I could hear the melody that I would sing to it as I was reading the haiku. I changed a few words to make it fit the melody just a little better, but the spirit was there. And then I wrote the second half: lay down your shield, let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt. You ask, where do we find hope? How do we find hope? How do we let hope be a practice and a discipline that we engage? And I would submit to you that in learning how to love more honestly and more earnestly, learning how to love each other and holding up that mirror that is other people in our lives, letting them love us. And in seeing what is lovable within us through that mirror that is other people reflecting back to us, learning how to love who we are in that moment. Not based on what we accomplish, not based on our accolades, not based on any particular amount of income we have managed to earn in this world, not based on these material measurements, but based on the inherent worth and dignity of each person. Because if that applies to others, it applies to ourselves. And we will go to the mat as Unitarian Universalists to defend the inherent worth and dignity of other people. And in our internal monologue, we will use language toward ourselves that we would never accept hearing out loud toward any other person. My partner says to me sometimes, take care of my friend Joe. I am apart from her far more than we are together. But nearly every time when I am walking out the door, she says, "Take good care of my friend Joe." It is a tacit invitation. And when I wrote this song, thinking very much about bodhicitta and about Buddhist notions of the broken heart and the awakened heart being one and the same, I missed that maybe there were some pieces of this story that I had written for some young friends of mine in the LGBTQ communities, that it was far more approachable than that. I had a particular subset of human beings in my heart as I was writing, but I realized that it was more applicable to every person. And it was when my partner said to me, I don't know who you wrote that song for, but I hope that sometime you will look in a mirror and sing that song to yourself, that I realized, oh, right. She sang it again. Take good care of my friend Joe. It still feels a little loud, Alex. Also feels like something odd happened to the EQ on this channel. It's very, very mid-rangey. So anyway, we'll roll with it. It is Pentecost. The Spirit will move us as it moves us. How about that? The Spirit is going to move me to raise this up a whole step, too.
Lay down your weapons. Love has you surrounded. There is no easy way out. Lay down your shields. Let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt. You go through the world, everybody's sweetheart, keeping up a front that wears you down. But in a quiet moment, the truth comes out. Some days you feel like you're about to drown. And lay down your weapons. Love has you surrounded. No easy way out. There is no easy way out. Lay down your shield, let your heart break. Lay down your shields, let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt. There is no reason to play this charade. You can be loved for who you are. And for every troubled thought that crosses your mind, please know that you are someone else's shining star. So lay down your weapons. Love has you surrounded. There is no easy way out. And lay down your shield. Let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt. What do you need? By what measure would you know that you are more than what you achieve? When you look in the mirror, is it possible to see that you are enough? So let it breathe. And lay down your weapons. Love has you surrounded. No easy way out. There is no easy way out. And lay down your shield. Let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt. One more time. Lay down your weapons. Lay down your weapons. Love has you surrounded. There is no easy way out. And lay down your shield. Let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt. And lay down your shield. Let your heart break just a little. Let love remove all doubt.
The album that Beth talked about, Endless Grace, there is no song on the album called Endless Grace. You usually do pick one song on the album that is kind of the general umbrella that takes in the concept of the album. And there wasn't a song on it that really fulfilled that role well. So one of the producers, I had two producers on this project, suggested I look to the lyric for a title. And I went home and after the day's recording session and made myself a cup of tea and then sat down on the couch of the friend I was staying with and went through one by one in sequence as I had arranged the titles on the song, on the album, all the lyrics in my head. And I got to the last song and I got to the fourth verse of the last song, which says, "There are legions I will never see, fighting the good fight with me. They soldier on with endless grace so the world can be a better place." And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, but the producer was Julie Wolfe. I text her anyway, and I said, we have a title. Endless grace abounds around us. We just need to open ourselves to it to keep us moving forward. Joe, about 2 years ago, introduced me to Susie, Unitarian summer camp down in the South that I went to for a week. And I will say that one of the big differences between Quakers and Unitarians is you love music. And I was touched that not only were there performers there for the week long, but people brought their instruments and they sang. So I'll try to bring a little bit back that to my meaning that we sing more. But the chorus to this is really easy. You'll pick it up really soon. And it's about honoring the people who walk before us and the people who walk with us on our journey. I do not walk this path alone, no matter where I'm bound. We all stand on someone's shoulders when we reach a higher ground. Again, I do not walk this path alone, no matter where I'm bound.
We all stand on someone's shoulders when we reach a higher
ground. Mama taught me right from wrong. She was my first rhythm, my first song. Through my father's knowing gaze, I bought the measure of my days. People of my ancestry died building this road for me. Fruit of their proud sacrifice down to me. It's my birthright. by the brawny hearts of my precious friends. Daily travel by my side, the source of strength, a chosen tribe. There are legions I will never see, fighting the good fight with me. A soldier on with endless grace, the world will be better place. I do not walk this path alone, no matter where I'm bound. We all stand on someone's shoulders when we reach the higher ground. One more companion lights my way, eases my load every day. Known by many different names, Spirit guides us all the same. I do not walk this path alone, no matter where I'm bound. We all stand on someone's shoulders when we reach the higher ground. One more time. I do not walk this path alone, no matter where I'm bound. We all stand on someone's shoulders when we reach the higher ground. We all stand on someone's shoulders when we reach the higher ground.
What a beautiful song. It is not possible to explore in full measure such a deep subject, but I hope that you can find, we hope that you can find somewhere in your life a thing about which you can be hopeful. And being hopeful about that thing can bring your attention into the present moment. And with your attention in the present moment, you are far more likely to find more things about which you can be hopeful. In doing so, we cultivate the capacity to apply that hope toward the things that seem too complicated, too complex, to the moments where people say that this is a quixotic notion, it has no practical application. And yet when we look around us, we see that generations before us, as in Deirdre's song, have moved forward with endless grace to bring us into this moment. They have brought us here into the now with the hope that we will make the way for those who will come after us. And hope is part of how we get there. We must believe in the possibility of a brighter future for the next generation. Whether or not we have children, we must believe that the next generation is worth building a better world for. And let that be a way of life. Let it be a thing that is in our hearts when we wake up in the morning. Let it be a thing that is with us throughout the day, that is with us as we go to sleep at night. Let hope be a discipline and a practice. I think we're starting to spin down a little bit. Let's go through these chalice extinguishing words. There is more yet to come. No Unitarian service ends without a benediction and a song and, other things. If you want, we can save the chalice extinguishing for the very end, if that just feels better to you.
We should end with that, with the songs. Let's do our
Okay, all right.
So these are words that Joe picked, and then these are words that Joe picked, and then we'll end with our usual words. So let's say these words together. By Sojourner Truth. Life is a hard battle anyway. If we laugh and sing a little as we fight the good fight of freedom, it makes it all go easier. I will not allow my life's light to be determined by the darkness around me. And as we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment, these we carry in our hearts and share with all the world.
I wish you peace and every blessing on your journey as you learn to cherish each and every day. May your tears be those of healing. May your laughter bring you joy, and may true love be your companion on the way. I wish you peace. I wish you peace and every blessing on your journey as you learn to cherish each and every day, to cherish each and every day. May your tears be those of healing. May your laughter bring you joy, and may true love be your companion on the way. One more time. I wish you peace. I wish you peace and every blessing on your journey as you learn to cherish each and every day, to cherish each and every day. May your tears be those of healing. May your laughter bring you joy, and may true love be your companion on the way. Please join us in body or spirit. Rise in a closing song. You don't know it yet, but you will. So if you know it, sing along. If you don't know it, sing along anyway. That's how we roll. This is a song that Deidre and I first sang together on this very dais 17 years ago in the month of May when we were paired together as part of the Renaissance concerts. And it is an extraordinary delight to me that Deidre and I are still making music together, and we are still friends on the journey. Deidre McCalla, everybody.
Thank you, Joe Jencks.
I feel the current raging around me. Try to summon up my strength once more. I am weary on this journey, afraid I will not reach that distant shore. I cry for help, feel like I'm sinking. There is no one near me I can see, but there you are in the water with me. You take my hand and guide me graciously. Will you come with me on this journey? With every breath we take, keep reaching for the dawn. I know alone that I will falter, that I will falter. With a good friend near me, I will carry on. There is a kindness in your smile and a gentleness within your speech. You reassure me, your love surrounds me. I know safety is at last within my reach. Will you come with me? Will you come with me on this journey? On this journey, with every breath we take, keep reaching for the dawn. I know alone I will falter. I will falter. With a good friend near me, I will carry on. It's an illusion we carry with us as we wade on through the waters of our lives. But we must be strong and hold our own here. But a helping hand will save us by and by. Will you come with me? Will you come with me on this journey? With every breath we take, keep reaching for the dawn. I know alone that I will falter. With a good friend near me, I will carry on. Sing it with us one more time. Will you come with me on this journey? With every breath we take, keep reaching for the dawn. I know alone that I will falter. With a good friend near me, I will carry on. I know alone that I will falter. With a good friend near me, I will carry on. With the good friend near me, I will carry on. Beloved, our worship is ended, but our service continues every day. Go in peace.
Beloveds, there are CDs for sale down in the social hall. Joe has some CDs for sale if you want to get them. And, you just put out yours. And we'll put out some for Deirdre's too. I know people want to greet you.
You stand there.
Oh, are you going to
You stand up.